Have you ever noticed the quiet changes that happen in some elderly individuals about a year before they pass away? It's a difficult thought to face, but the reality is that many seniors experience noticeable shifts, both physically and emotionally, well before the end comes. These changes can be subtle at first, often mistaken for normal aging. However, healthcare experts have observed certain patterns that may suggest the body is slowly winding down. In this video, we'll uncover the early warning signs you might be ignoring, clues that your body is in distress long before a major health issue strikes. From unusual weight fluctuations to alterations in mood and behavior, these clues can offer a deeper understanding of what might be happening behind the scenes. Recognizing these signs early can make a big difference. It allows families to respond with compassion, prepare emotionally, and ensure their loved ones are supported with comfort and dignity during this tender phase of life. Make sure to watch until the end. This knowledge isn't just about preparing for loss, but about finding ways to make the most of the time that remains. Whether you're caring for a parent, grandparent, or simply planning ahead, this is something everyone should know. Let's begin. 1. Unexpected drop in body weight. One of the most alarming, but often overlooked, signals the body gives when something's wrong is rapid, unexplained weight loss. For older adults, this isn't just about the numbers on the scale. It's often a deeper sign that the body is struggling on a cellular level. Picture someone like Margaret, a 79-year-old grandmother known in her community for baking cookies every weekend and tending her garden. Over a span of just 2 months, her family noticed her clothes started hanging looser, her face looked more hollow, and she stopped asking for second helpings at dinner. She hadn't changed her diet or become more active, yet her weight was dropping fast. Her family initially chalked it up to aging, but when her energy dipped and she began to look frail, they brought her in for a checkup. What the doctors found was concerning. Her digestive system was no longer absorbing nutrients properly due to an undiagnosed gastrointestinal issue. It had silently advanced while her body compensated by breaking down muscle and fat just to stay afloat. Weight loss like this can be a warning sign for serious medical conditions, ranging from cancer and thyroid problems to late-stage heart or kidney disease. In some cases, it's not even the illness directly, but the body's way of responding to long-term stress, inflammation, or nutrient deficiencies. The science is simple but sobering. When the body can't get or use enough fuel, it starts feeding on itself. Muscle tissue breaks down, fat stores deplete, and the immune system weakens. This makes older individuals more vulnerable to infections and slower to recover from even minor health setbacks. There's often a shift in appetite that comes along too. Seniors may start skipping meals, feeling full after just a few bites, or losing interest in food they once loved. While this can sometimes be due to medication or changes in taste, it can also reflect a decline in the body's internal drive to nourish itself. The key is vigilance. If you notice a loved one is tightening their belt more often, looking thinner around the cheeks or neck, or needing smaller clothes without intending to lose weight, don't assume it's just part of getting older. Early action matters. Consulting a healthcare provider could lead to identifying a treatable issue. Even if no major illness is found, simple adjustments, like enriching their meals with higher protein foods, incorporating smoothies, or reviewing their medications, can make a meaningful difference. In the end, losing weight without trying isn't just a cosmetic change. It's a message from the body, one that deserves to be heard and understood before it's too late. If you or someone you love is experiencing unexplained weight loss, don't wait. It's better to ask questions now than wish you had later. 2. Constant tiredness and growing weakness. One of the most frequent but often underestimated clues that someone may be nearing the final stages of life is a persistent sense of tiredness and muscle weakness. This isn't the kind of fatigue you feel after a busy day or a poor night's sleep. It's a deep, lingering exhaustion that doesn't go away, no matter how much rest they get. When someone who once enjoyed a full, active day begins to struggle with even small routine tasks like brushing their hair, making breakfast, or getting out of bed, it may be a signal that their body is quietly winding down. This profound fatigue often has a physiological root, The heart might not be pumping blood as effectively, which means less oxygen is reaching the muscles. The liver or kidneys may be slowing down, allowing toxins to accumulate in the bloodstream. The immune system might be working overtime, draining energy reserves just to keep infections or inflammation under control. Take Adam, for example, a 76-year-old retired postman who used to take pride in walking around the neighborhood every morning. But over just a few weeks, his morning strolls turned into short walks to the mailbox. And then, barely that. His daughter noticed him leaning on the kitchen counter more often, sitting down to rest mid-conversation, and eventually dozing off throughout the day. He said he just felt worn out, like his body was moving in slow motion. At first, they chalked it up to aging, but it turned out his heart had become significantly weaker, and his body was conserving energy for only the most essential functions. He wasn't just tired, his body was gradually entering a phase where everything slowed down. Medical professionals take these signs seriously. When someone who used to enjoy reading, talking with family, or even light chores suddenly becomes withdrawn and inactive, it's often not just emotional, it's physical. Their body may be pulling back, redirecting its limited energy towards survival. And fatigue doesn't just show up in how people move. It can affect how they think and feel. Many people begin to speak less, lose interest in social interactions, or even appear confused. Some describe it as feeling like their limbs are heavy or like they're walking through molasses. Everything just takes more effort. If you're seeing these changes in a loved one, don't just brush it off as getting older. Yes, some energy loss comes with age, but a sudden drop in energy and strength should be taken seriously. It may point to something like anemia, electrolyte imbalances, undiagnosed heart issues, or another underlying condition. In many cases, simple changes, like adjusting medication, treating a deficiency, or improving hydration, can offer some improvement. But in others, it may be the body's quiet way of preparing for a final transition. So if your loved one seems far more tired or weaker than usual, it's a sign worth paying attention to. Early intervention might offer not just clarity, but comfort in the time ahead. If you're still with us, let me know by commenting 2 below. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future videos like this. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue bringing you helpful, heartfelt content. Now let's continue to the next important sign. 3. Pulling away from social activities and behavior changes. One of the more unexpected yet telling signs that someone might be nearing the final stretch of life is a noticeable retreat from social interaction and subtle changes in their usual behavior. This can look different for everyone. Someone who used to be warm and talkative might suddenly become quiet, avoid conversations, or stop participating in hobbies they once loved. While many people chalk this up to mood swings or just getting older, it can actually be a deeper signal that the mind and body are slowly shutting down. As energy reserves dwindle and physical discomfort increases, socializing can start to feel like a task too heavy to carry. You see, the mind and body are tightly linked. As the body weakens, the desire and ability to connect often fades too. That doesn't always mean they're depressed. Sometimes they're simply too tired or in too much discomfort to engage. Holding a conversation might feel draining, attending a family dinner might require more strength than they have, and even answering a phone call could feel overwhelming. Let me tell you about Eleanor, a 77-year-old grandmother who was once the heart of every family celebration. She adored hosting Sunday brunch and would spend hours chatting with her grandchildren about everything from books to baking. But over a few months, something changed. Eleanor stopped making phone calls. She began turning down visits and seemed distant, even when her loved ones were sitting right next to her. Her family initially thought she was just in a quiet mood or maybe needed more rest. But as time passed, her quietness turned into detachment. She no longer laughed at inside jokes or lit up when the kids visited. Eventually, they realized it wasn't just tiredness. It was her body and mind slowing down in ways that weren't immediately visible. A checkup revealed that Eleanor had an underlying condition affecting her heart, draining her of energy and focus. Doctors often highlight that when a once social person begins to withdraw without explanation, it's worth asking why. Is it fatigue, pain, confusion, or is it part of a larger physical or cognitive shift? Sometimes memory issues or slower thinking can make conversations hard to follow. Other times, people may avoid social situations because they feel embarrassed by their physical limitations. Another thing to look out for is changes in personality. If someone becomes unusually impatient, restless, or withdrawn, it could be linked to more than just mood. It might stem from brain chemistry changes, organ stress, or side effects of medications. In some cases, these shifts happen because the body is focusing all its energy on vital functions, leaving little left for emotional balance. What's truly heartbreaking is that loved ones often mistake this behavior as rejection, thinking the person doesn't care anymore. But in truth, they may simply be struggling internally with things they can't explain. Recognizing this can help families respond with compassion instead of hurt. It's not about forcing them into busy social situations. Often, the best support comes from simple, gentle presence. Sharing a quiet moment, playing soft music, or just sitting together without pressure. And if this withdrawal comes alongside other changes, like fatigue, weight loss, or confusion, it's a good idea to talk to a doctor. There might still be time to manage underlying issues or offer comfort in meaningful ways. So if someone you care about has been pulling away, don't brush it off as just aging. It might be their body's way of signaling something more. Offer patience, stay close, and make sure they get the care they need. Let's continue. 4. Trouble walking or frequent stumbles. One of the most telling and frequently ignored signals that a person may be approaching the later stages of life is a sudden shift in mobility. While it's true that strength and balance decline naturally with age, a noticeable increase in tripping, wobbling, or difficulty getting around can be a red flag that something more serious is going on beneath the surface. Mobility isn't just about muscles. It's a complex coordination between your brain, nerves, heart, and body. When an elderly individual starts needing to hold onto furniture, take smaller steps, or hesitates when moving from sitting to standing, it's often a clue that their body's internal systems aren't working as smoothly as they used to. Let's take the story of Margaret, an 81-year-old retired teacher. She was known for her brisk morning walks and energetic presence. But within just a few months, her walks turned into short strolls, and she started needing help to get up from her favorite chair. A few close calls on the stairs were brushed off as clumsiness, until one day she lost her balance in the kitchen and fractured her wrist. Her family later found out that her nervous system was slowing down due to a mix of early-stage dementia and reduced blood flow to her limbs. Her brain was no longer sending the same quick, sharp signals to maintain posture and movement. Her body wasn't responding with the same strength or coordination. This pattern isn't uncommon. As we grow older, we lose muscle mass faster than we realize, a condition called sarcopenia. It doesn't just make us weaker, it also affects our reflexes, our stability, and even our confidence in walking across the room. Add to that a decrease in circulation, especially to the legs, and you get numbness, dizziness, and a general unsteadiness that makes walking feel risky. Neurological changes can also be at play. Conditions like Parkinson's disease, tiny undetected strokes, or even advanced diabetes can cause subtle changes in balance and control. Often these are mistaken for normal aging until the falls start piling up. And let's not forget fear, a powerful factor. After a fall, many seniors begin to fear it happening again. That fear makes them move less, avoid walking, or sit more often, which only weakens their muscles further and creates a vicious cycle. But here's the thing, not every wobble means something critical. However, a pattern of frequent imbalance or falls should never be dismissed. If your loved one starts holding walls, avoiding stairs, or walking more slowly, it's time to act. Encourage supportive tools like a walker or cane, but more importantly, get a medical evaluation. Sometimes minor changes, like tweaking medications, starting light physical therapy, or increasing fluid intake, can make a world of difference. In other cases, these signs may signal a deeper decline in the body's ability to sustain itself. So if you're seeing these signs, don't wait for a major fall to take it seriously. Act early, ask questions, and protect your loved one's independence while there's still time. And if you're still watching this video, I'd love to know. Comment 4 down below to let me know you're engaged. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and tap that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Your support helps us keep making informative, life-saving content just like this. Now let's continue with the next sign. 7. Hallucinations, cognitive decline, or confusion. One of the most unsettling, yet commonly misunderstood signs that an elderly person may be approaching the final stretch of life is a sudden or steady decline in mental clarity. This can appear in various ways: forgetfulness, confusion about familiar surroundings, trouble following simple conversations, or even seeing and hearing things that aren't really there. Now, occasional forgetfulness can be part of normal aging, but when someone begins to regularly lose track of time, get disoriented in familiar places, or struggle to recognize people close to them, especially if these changes happen quickly, it could be a much deeper warning sign. The brain, just like any other organ, depends on a steady flow of oxygen and nutrients to work properly. But when the body starts to weaken, the brain is often among the first to react. In some cases, poor blood flow limits oxygen to the brain. In others, it might be the result of undiagnosed infections, medication reactions, or organ fatigue. When the body enters a survival mode, it shifts energy to the most essential systems, leaving cognitive functions to falter. Let's take the story of Mr. Harold, an 84-year-old retired school principal who had always been known for his sharp memory and quick wit. He remembered the names of all his former students, followed the evening news like clockwork, and loved solving crossword puzzles every morning. But then small changes started to appear. He began forgetting what day it was, asking the same question multiple times, and misplacing simple items like his glasses or remote. One evening, his daughter found him trying to make toast in the microwave. And then came the night he whispered that he saw a group of children playing in his living room, when there was no one there. That's when the family realized this wasn't just forgetfulness. It was something much bigger. Hallucinations like these can be disturbing for both the individual and their family. Whether it's seeing people who aren't present, hearing voices, or feeling odd physical sensations, these signs often point to a struggling brain. While such symptoms are common in conditions like dementia or Parkinson's disease, they can also result from simple things like dehydration, infections, or disrupted sleep. But when they start happening more frequently, it can be the body's way of signaling it's approaching its limits. Another thing to keep an eye on is terminal agitation, sometimes called terminal restlessness. You might notice the person becoming unusually fidgety, pacing, picking at their clothes or bed sheets, or unable to sit still. Though it may look like anxiety, it's often the brain reacting to internal changes in the body. It's not always easy to watch, but it's a part of the body's transition process. Doctors stress that while some degree of forgetfulness is expected with aging, sudden or dramatic shifts in cognitive behavior should never be ignored. If someone suddenly starts getting lost in their own home, struggles to finish sentences, or appears emotionally distant, it's time to seek medical help. Sometimes these symptoms are reversible, caused by things like a urinary tract infection or a medication mix-up. But other times, they're a clear sign that the body's in a deeper stage of decline, and it's time to shift the focus toward comfort, care, and presence. What's most important to remember is this: cognitive decline isn't just about memory. It reflects how the entire body is functioning. When someone begins to lose touch with reality or becomes mentally foggy, it often means the body is signaling distress. Noticing these signs early can help provide the right care, ease suffering, and support both the individual and their loved ones through a difficult time. Now that we've explored the 7 signs to watch for, take a moment to reflect. These changes may be subtle at first, or they may come suddenly. Either way, recognizing them can help families prepare with love, care, and understanding. Which of these signs stood out to you most? Have you noticed anything like this in someone close to you? Being aware of these shifts doesn't mean giving up. It means leaning into the process with compassion and being ready to provide the support they truly need. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share something you learned today or how you plan to use it. Your stories and insights inspire us and our community. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep creating meaningful content that educates and empowers. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.